G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Uboat on U764. It's the 23rd of March 1945, so we should really have about 6 more weeks left of the war. So hopefully today's episode is going to be a little bit better than the previous episode. We haven't really been doing that well over the last couple of episodes. Would like to be trying to get more than 30,000 tons worth of shipping under our belts, but we haven't quite achieved that so far. So hopefully today we can just be doing a little bit better. So a quick look at the world map here, and we can see that they are really closing in quite rapidly on Germany itself now. The Allies are coming from all directions, so they've kind of got us by the balls, and the end is inevitable, but we will keep fighting until we are told to stop, or otherwise I don't know what happens actually at the end of the war, but we'll keep going and see what happens. So here's our patrol sector right up north, and we're going to sink 7,000 tons today. So we're just heading up towards the patrol sector here, and it looks like our guy has managed to pick ourselves up a small group, 8 to 19 ships. So let's start plotting an interception course. It looks like we should be able to intercept that before it reaches the patrol sector, which is going to use up most of our torpedoes if we can do a good job with it. And then we'll just have to do the patrol afterwards, but they might end up sailing all the way through. It just depends how well we get with our first couple of strikes. So we'll just see what their route is going to be, and I'll get a quick reading on their angle for their direction of travel, which will make it easier when we come to intercept. So we will move in as soon as we're ready and start engaging. Okay, so they're just coming into visual range now, not of the periscope, but we can take a quick look at the ships. So we've got ourselves an Empire leading the charge, so we are going to just swing back around. We want to be shooting at a better angle, just get the front of the ship this side of the convoy. I was trying to attack from the south side of the convoy, but they kind of popped up in a different position there. So we will just stop here, let them move in a little bit closer. So there's a couple of destroyers, big destroyer in the middle there, could be a cruiser. So we've got this lead destroyer here. See what this is in the middle, which is protecting the rest of the convoy. So this is a Kirov class, one of the biggest things that we can attack in the game. And we have this little fast craft here, which is not really that much of a concern. We could probably use a T5 against that after we've engaged with one of these destroyers. They kind of look like they're on a different heading now to what they were previously, so let's just double check what they're doing before we start looking at the periscope. So 79 degrees, so they've changed by about 10 degrees more. So they're a little bit probably within range, this one. So let's start getting into the periscope and have a good look. Let's have a look, see what we're dealing with here. Nice day for it. There's the sun. Plenty of smoke on the horizon, so there's going to be plenty here for the taking. Now first off, we're looking for this lead destroyer, which is going to open up the convoy for us. So let's zoom in. It's just your standard destroyer, nothing too big, should just be a 1 torpedo job. I don't think it's a Black Swan, it's not that one. So it's got one skinny funnel at the front and a chunkier one just behind it. Could be that. It could be that one. That's what it looks like to me. B class. Recognize that. Probably doing 7, but we don't know for sure just yet. We will double check. And it was 79 degrees is the heading. So we'll send 1 torpedo away on this guy, and then I'm expecting the fast craft to come rapidly searching for us, and we'll probably just launch a T5 at that one, and hopefully that'll do the job for us. So we'll start the clock and stop the clock right there. 7 knots, just the usual. So we will just launch 1 torpedo away at this thing. and then maybe when that's close to impact is when we'll think about launching the T5, because we want the T5 to have the best opportunity of hitting this target here. If I launch it right now, it could go anywhere, so we don't want to be doing that. So let's just let that cruise on for a bit. Just inspect the rest of the convoy. Maybe we'll set up the solution a little bit for this small fast craft that's going to be coming our way. Can't get away from that, we know it's going to be coming, and it's definitely something that needs to be taken care of, otherwise it's just going to be on our case for the rest of the time until we can outrun it. So I reckon we should attack this side of the convoy, and then we'll get underneath. We'll go to the other side of the convoy where there's probably going to be less enemy destroyers. So we'll just quickly recognize this corvette is an Isles. Doesn't really matter too much on the solution for this thing here because it's a T5 torpedo. It will just go to whatever is the closest ship, closest propellers that it can pick up is where it will head. So we'll just let that first torpedo close right in, and then almost at the point of impact is when that ship is going to come straight gunning towards us. So we should probably launch around about now, which will mean should guarantee us a hit, and it should hopefully be enough to do the business for us and get rid of it. So tube number 5 will fire away. Okay, we've got a good hit there on that destroyer. Straight away she's on fire. So hopefully it's going to be enough to put her down to the bottom, but she does not look like she's going to be interfering with much with us for the next little while. Yeah, damage has gone all the way down there. Heavy flooding, heavy damage. She should go down right away. And hopefully our T5 is well on the way now towards this corvette that's lurking on the outside. So the destroyer's dealt with, that's for sure. And there is still the Kirov class in this convoy, but the Kirov class doesn't really seem to drift too far away, even when there is a threat. It doesn't really deviate away from the convoy because it's there for protection, so it won't come chasing us. So there's our T5, about halfway towards the target, so it should start to home in very soon. And it looks like it's taking a wrong turn here. Well, that's not really good, but it will definitely hit something, so let's just wait and see. Well, it wasn't the target ship that we wanted. It was a Norwegian ship, which I otherwise would have let run away and dismantled the rest of the convoy around it, but it looks like we've done a fair bit of damage here to this Empire Explorer, or whatever it is. But hopefully it's not going to be enough to sink it. So not ideal really, but it hasn't sunk it, so we should be okay there. We won't get in any trouble from BDU, so we won't do any more damage to that ship, but for now we need to try and outrun this corvette that is coming our way, and then we'll dive down and get onto the other side of the convoy, and we should come in for a second attack. If there's any destroyers over there, then they'll be dealt with first. Okay, we're safely on the other side of the convoy now, and they should have all calmed down quite nicely, ready for us to do an attack. There is that Empire that we struck with the torpedo, still tugging along there in the water. So here's our next target. It's going to be this Kirov class. So if we have any surface engagements, we are not going to be able to have that if this thing is in the water. So they're still doing their 79 degrees, and we'd better do a speed check just to be sure, make sure that they are still doing 7 knots. Maybe we'll just have to guess because there's another ship right in the way of it. So it's going to be 2 torpedoes. Hopefully should be enough to deal with the Kirov class. They are a big monster of a ship, but we'll see if 2 should be enough. It'll be enough to incapacitate it for sure. And then I think second target should just be this one right in front of it, and we should easily be able to get 2 strikes simultaneously, and that'll leave us a good opening to come back in for another attack once these guys have gone and the rest of everyone else has calmed down. So it's an Empire Explorer, and the distance doesn't look like it's too much behind the torpedoes there. It's just about 1 kilometer, so when those torpedoes get to there, we will take our strike. We're going to have to send 1 cold torpedo, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Hopefully it's not going to be a dud. So we'll just let a little bit of time pass until that torpedo gets to around about the kilometer mark, and hopefully we're going to get 2 birds with 1 stone here. So we'll fire those away, and good luck to those torpedoes. Okay, we've got 2 good hits on the Kirov class cruiser over there, and she is burning. So that should be enough damage for that thing to go down. And I don't know if you saw, but 1 torpedo ran in front of this Empire here, and 1 hit. So not the best attack on this guy here, but hopefully it's going to be enough. Damage is quite considerable. So hopefully the fire is going to do a little bit more for us, but I would say the Kirov is surely going to go down, and this thing's done for. The front of the ship's fallen off, so she's going to go down. So that's a good attack in my opinion. And the Kirov class, we're just going to have to wait for that to sink. So it looks like we'll come in for another attack very soon, now that we've opened up the convoy and taken care of a couple of the destroyers. Okay, so there goes the Kirov. She is sinking. That's a good bit of pressure taking off us now for the rest of this convoy, but we still do have a couple of other corvettes that are in the convoy that are going to be quite problematic for us. So they should really be the high priority now for the next attack. But it looks like the ships are now going all over the place here, really. So let's just take a look. This is one of the corvettes in question. Need to get rid of that. So I think we should dive down, try and get back over to the other side of the convoy, which is not very well defended anymore. This Norwegian Empire is still plodding along, so we should just try and stay away from this thing for a little bit. She's pinging us, but we should still get away comfortably, and we'll pop up on this side of the convoy and see if we can come in for another attack and get some more tonnage sunk. Okay, we're on the other side of the convoy now, so we should be able to come in for an attack. The music suggests that they haven't quite calmed down enough to launch torpedoes just yet, but we can start working on a solution. So there's the Empire that we don't want to attack. We really need to make sure that we don't attack that. So whatever that is just looks a little bit too far away. There should be some undefended Empires here, just like this one. So course is changed slightly from what it was before, distance wise, just within range, and we should double check the speed here just to be sure. Okay, 7 knots, perfect. So they've just calmed down in time. So we'll send 2 torpedoes here just to make sure that we get the job done properly. And all of that stuff should be fine. So it's going to be tubes 2 and tube 4. Fire those away. Okay, perfect. So under the cover of darkness, we've got a double hit here on this Empire. Massive fire on board, or there was. It must be an internal fire now, but hopefully that should be enough. And that's going to be a few extra tons for our outing here. So hopefully she's not going to sit here dead in the water for too long. I want to make sure that she goes down. The back end is definitely not looking too pretty. And then we want to get back in there and do another attack. There's plenty more freighters here. So yep, she is definitely going down. She's gone up. So what else are we going to have a look at? We have to let them calm down again. Okay, so we've reached our 7,000 tons that we need. And we should try and get back over to the other side of the convoy. So that's where the majority of the ships are now. The one in front of us here is just the ship that we attacked already. So it looks like we've got destroyers heading our way. Well, we should probably try and take care of one of them if we can. We do still have a T5 loaded and ready to go. So if we come into the middle, hopefully it will start heading our way. We can head north a little bit, northwest-ish, northeast, sorry. And we can just take a look through the periscope, start setting up a solution, and hopefully it doesn't deviate away from us on this attack here. And we don't need to be too fussy with the solution, we can just get on with it and launch a torpedo. So we don't want to be launching at U, we're looking for the fast craft here. So hopefully a T5 should be more than enough to take care of one of these Flower class destroyers. Not Corvette, whatever it is. Coaster apparently. Yeah, it's Corvette class. Probably not doing 7 knots. We'll say they're doing a little bit more. Just rough as with the solution here, and we will just launch that away. And if we get a strike, that should be more than enough to take care of that. So Tube 5 T5, fire. Okay, so the T5 struck the target. It's good to see that it didn't deviate away again and end up hitting another Empire or something else. But a little bit surprised here because they normally go down immediately, and this looks like it's done no damage. Minimal damage, are you kidding me? That's a waste of a torpedo. Okay, so what are we going to do about that? Because I don't really want to waste any more torpedoes trying to take care of that. It's not going to leave us anything to attack the freighters. So that's a real mystery there. One torpedo is like a guaranteed sinking when you strike these. We'll let some time pass, but done nothing to it. Just a small fire on the back of the boat. What is that about? Never seen that before. Okay, we're back with them. And we've got this lone Empire here, which we should attack for sure. Done most of the working out already. They're just a little bit out of range, but we do need to do a quick speed check just to be sure. So we'll start the clock now. She is just cruising there, 7 knots. That's perfect. And we'll just double check her distance. So it should be all good to attack now. Perfect. 2 torpedoes. We want to make sure we get the job done on this one. It's only going to be a few thousand tons for us on the registrar, but should be all good. So we'll fire away. Okay, we got the 2 strikes that we wanted, but it kind of feels like it was overkill at this stage because the front of the ship has fallen off again. So I wonder if 1 torpedo would have done the job there and we could have saved ourselves another torpedo. They're not unlimited in supply, but 1 torpedo would have been enough, I reckon, there. So she goes down. It's a bit more towards the tally, And as you can see, the convoy has split itself into two groups. Alright, we've got these two ships down here on the south side, which we are going to come in now and probably have a surface engagement with. We'll use the deck gun just to save ourselves the last of our torpedoes. So we'll get up, close in on this guy, and hopefully make quick work of it, because we don't want those fast craft coming our way. So we'll get the captain up here on the deck gun, and hopefully we should manage to survive this. I don't want to have to take any incoming fire from anything, but these ships are fairly quick and easy to get rid of. It's just a case of firing at them on the waterline, get a few shells in, hopefully a fire on board, make quick work of it, get rid of it, and if we've got time we'll do the other one that we were just next to as well. Okay, so of course a bit of damage. We haven't had a fire on her yet, but I kind of feel like a few more rounds should finish her off quite nicely. Once you get to about 50% damage, there we go, got the fire on. Yeah, once you get to about 50%, the second 50% doesn't really take us long. It's quite quick when you just cause a bit of damage and a fire, then the damage kind of takes care of itself, and you just put a few more in just to make sure. I mean, we could leave it like this for now, but yep, she is going to go down. We'll do one more for luck, just so she doesn't float around. Okay, I was going to close in on this second Empire in front of us here, but we've got a fast craft coming in for us. So I'm going to try something here, and this is risky as, but I'm going to try and have a surface engagement with it. Now I don't know how far away I should be aiming, but there she goes, she's firing at me. And I kind of feel like if I can get a couple of hits on it, then it should be all good. But all we need to try and do is avoid hits from her as well. So there she is. Now, how do I gauge the range? I suppose I just kind of shoot. That doesn't look too bad. I think that went over. We've got bullets coming from another direction as well, so this is very dangerous. Don't want to go down, so if we start taking any damage, we better try and get away from it. Okay, got a bit of damage right now, so it's not good. Let's see, we should be close enough now that we can actually start hitting. But she's also quite close to us and probably more accurate with her shots. So that should be okay. Did that destroy her shell that she just shot? Or did that hit her boat? A little bit dodgy. 2 shots though and she's down. That's great news. I was not expecting that to be so easy there. Where are those other shots coming from? We should probably try and do the same. Now, we are treading on thin water here, but I mean that's quite successful. I've never done that before. Don't know many people who would try and engage with a Corvette class on the water on the top, but I like to live dangerously. We are at the business end of the war, so if we do die it doesn't really matter. Haven't died yet though, so we don't want to die. Would like to finish the war out. Okay, so we've managed to fix the leaks on board. Now, is there any water that we need to get rid of? Any other damage? I think we should be okay. So we've got bullets coming at us from where? Can't see you yet. Quite a few kilometers away, which is going to make shooting a little bit difficult. So we'll try and close in, and if we can, we'll pretty much have a repeat of what we just did, but for now we need to work on the boat, make sure everybody's all safe, nobody's injured or anything. We've only got 3 torpedoes left. While the danger continues, we've got this other corvette class coming right for us, so we should definitely be trying to shoot away at that. And I think there is other destroyers here in the convoy, so she's shooting not very well at us, but also it's not going to be easy for us to gauge the distance here. So I think that was just a little bit short. And that looked like a hit to me. So it's a little bit tricky, especially with these waves. Picking our shots not the easiest thing. That looks like, oh, she's getting close to us as well. It's kind of hard to gauge the shot on the bounce, but we got there. It looked like. She seems to be taking a little bit more than the previous one. That looked like another hit. Yep, heaps of damage there. A couple more. I think if we can get one more hit, then that should do it. But like I say, this is not easy to press fire. So that was just over, was it? No, she's sinking. Good. She goes down. That opens up a whole new opportunity for us now, so we can engage with the rest of the convoy freely, I think. Okay, we're back with them, but we're not as free as we thought. We have an enemy destroyer here, which we should definitely be trying to use the last couple of torpedoes that we do have to get rid of. So 2 funnels kind of separated by something looks just like an EF class to me. Speed, can't be sure at this stage. Distance, a little bit tricky with this weather again. The direction has changed massively compared to what they were doing previous. So let's just double check, see what we're dealing with here. North to south and 111. So that's fine, but we'll definitely need to do a speed check because we don't know what she's doing. Since the previous engagement, they may be still on high alert. She does appear to be moving fast, 9 knots, but we should launch 2 torpedoes and hopefully we'll get a hit here. That'll take care of her, and then we're kind of free and open to attack anything that is unarmed. Well, it's not looking too good. We've been waiting a little while for this impact, but doesn't seem to have come just yet. 10 seconds to impact. Yeah, but I think something must have gone wrong with the calculations there because it seems to have sailed right in front of it. I think the speed probably slowed down just after we shot those torpedoes away, so that's unfortunate. So we're not clean running away from this. We've got that destroyer which seems to be coming for us. Seems to have picked us up on the sonar or something. So we're just going to have to try some evasive maneuvers here. And we better dive down deep just in case. I'll keep that speed up for now. Actually, we'll get one of our guys to throw a decoy out, which should enable us to just run away freely here. So you go and throw one of those out of there for us. As you can see, my crew are a little bit tired, strained, stressed, everything. They haven't had much rest lately, so we'll pick our speed back up, I think. Once our pill has been thrown, we should be able to outrun anything that this destroyer decides to throw at us. It's pinging quite a bit though, but I think we should be safe, so we'll be all good. So we will try and get back over to the north side here. We do still have 1 torpedo left in the chamber, and we'll try and put that to some good use now. Okay, so we're on the other side with them, attacking from the north, and we have this lone Empire here. Now that enemy destroyer is somewhere a little bit further to the south, but I kind of feel like we've got a minute where we might be able to get an attack in here, use up our last torpedo, and hopefully end up with another ship down to the bottom, and then we don't have to worry about the destroyer chasing too much. So what are we looking at? It's an Empire Explorer with the mast in the middle, I believe. Yep, Explorer. Course has changed drastically as well since the previous attack. Double check the distance. It's a little bit far away. Might have to let that close in a little bit. Yeah, it's just out of range for us here, so we'll let her move in. Hopefully we've got everything right. Should be open for a good attack. Excuse me. And we'll just double check our distance. Yep, so well within range now. Let's get that fired up. Okay, warm torpedo again. Double check the distance one more time. Should be all good to go. Load it up. Let's get her going, and we'll just sort that out a little bit just to make sure if we do miss that it's going to come back around, and hopefully we'll get a hit. Okay, well, it's not looking good for that last attack. I wonder if I guessed the speed wrong there. I should have probably checked to see if she was actually doing 7 knots, but it looks like we're going to be ending up with a miss here. Well, we may have missed with that torpedo, but we're not going to miss with the deck gun for sure. So let's get right in here, and we just need to be aware that there is a destroyer somewhere to the south. Yeah, that torpedo's just sailed right on past, and it's should turn, but I don't think it will get a hit anyway. So we'll just launch a few shells away with the deck gun here, and have to do it the old-fashioned way. If we want to get the tonnage, there's no point walking away from it if it's just sitting here right now. It's just an open target for us. Okay, she's taken quite a few shots actually to put her down, but looks like she's going to go there anyway. She should be done for now. I'm going to chuck a couple more just to be sure. Make sure the job is done. And then we'll see if there's anything else left in this convoy for us to engage with. So she's got a fire on, and it's just a case of waiting for the flooding now. But I think we've done enough damage to it to just leave her alone and let her go down. Keep the rest of our ammunition because it's all we have now. No more torpedoes to engage anything with. Not that we've been hitting very well anyway, but she's gone. It's a bit more towards our tally. Okay, well, just let the rest of that convoy run away, and we've kind of disengaged from it. We still have to do our patrol, which is going to be quite a bit of a job. Hopefully we don't run into anything that's going to come and attack us. We should be able to steer well clear of any enemy convoys or destroyers or anything like that. So we'll just plot ourselves a nice course to finish up. Lucky it's quite a big area, so it's just one lap around the outside of this area will get the job done nicely. Got plenty of fuel to do that, and we'll just use the time compression, get it done as quickly as possible. And then we're going to have to head back towards the port, claim any medals, and rearm the ship ready for the next outing. Okay, here we are back at port, April the 7th, so we have exactly 1 more month left until the Germans officially surrendered the war. What will happen on that day, I don't know. If the game probably puts out a message, but I don't know. We'll keep playing, see what happens. So you've got a new medal for your 15 war patrols, and me, I get a new decoration as well. That's good stuff. But we're a long way off getting to the next one, so I don't think we're actually going to get that on this campaign. Tonnage wise, probably not going to get to 250,000 either, unfortunately. But here's a little list of what we sunk. So we did alright. I think the biggest victory for us is the surface engagement with the 2 corvettes that we sunk. That's got to be a first for any U-boat captain. Wouldn't see that happening much. I don't think I've ever seen any other playthroughs where somebody's done that. So can't be happy with the strike rate, but that we can. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video if you feel like you can. And we'll be back soon with another episode. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens at the end of the war. But until that time comes, we just got to keep up the good fight. So I'll see you again in the next episode.